Welcome back, everybody, to GDQ Hotfix Secret Show of Doom. We have 3 more Doom runs coming at you today. My name is Jiggy, and thank you for hanging out. Type 1 if you've been here since Doom 2016. Type 1 in the chat if you've been here the entire time. Type 2 if you're just joining us here for Doom 64. I gotta know. I want to see in the chat who's been with us all day and who's just joining us here. GDQ has all kinds of awesome stuff going on the channel here in the coming months. And one of the ones I am most excited about is GDQ's all women and femme speedrunning events. Frost Fatales 2025 will be live from March 9th through the 16th. We will be the show will be benefiting the National Women's Law Center. So visit gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more information on that event. I'm seeing a ton of 1s and a lot of 2s here. I don't know what the 3 meant, but I didn't ask about 3s. But I am really excited. Let's get right into the next event, the next Doom run. Are you all ready? Can we get some hype in the chat for Doom 64 Watch Me Die match with Zelo? Zelo, how are you?
I'm great, sir. Hi, everyone. I am Zelo or Zello, however you want to say it. Never matters. You can always take your pick on how to pronounce it. So we're going to be playing Doom 64. This is going to be the 2020 remaster of the game by Night Dive, but this is a game that was originally made in 1997 by Midway instead of id Software, and they did a fantastic job making a classic Doom game. Like most people thought back in the day, this was just a port of PC Doom, but no, it's its own original game, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I have one very special friend and commentator, if you'd like to introduce yourself real quick.
Howdy everyone, I am Ellie. I'm actually the OG router and runner for this category specifically. It was kind of my 2020, start of the pandemic project. Since then, the routes evolved a bunch. Zeal's been doing a great job, killing it. And no doubt that he's going to do a great job today.
So we'll go ahead and get started. So you might have seen my run from SGDQ this year. We did Watch Me Die Speed. We're going to be doing the max category instead. So we're going to be doing the main game. Watch Me Die is the hardest difficulty. It is the equivalent to ultraviolence in PC Doom. There's no nightmare in this game. And max, we're going to be getting 100% kills and secrets on every level, except for this first one, which Ellie can talk about in just a bit. But
yeah.
Since the last time we did this for a hotfix, it's been about 3 years since then. There's going to been a lot of optimizations. So we're going to try and go fast. So we'll go fast in 3, 2, 1, Doom.
Doom. Okay, so Watch Me Die Max. We are looking for 100% kills, 100% secrets for every results screen at the end of each level. As Zila said, except for this first level, which has 2 caveats to it. We can only get 3 out of 4 secrets. The 4th secret is kind of out of bounds. We're not able to just reach it. And it doesn't have a result screen, so we just have to verify afterwards for runs. So you're maybe noticing that Zero is going out of the way a little bit to blow up every barrel that we come across. That is actually going to be for the secret exit that's coming up at the end of this level. And at the very beginning, we picked up the Berserk that is going to help a bunch with these pinkies. Very nice with the random damage rolls. Usually we can run shot them, sometimes the plane is nice, sometimes it doesn't. And another horde coming up here. Coming up to the end of the level right after this. Have a few hit scanners afterward and an imp with a barrel. So now we do some backtracking.
Let me get rid of him. He didn't die from the barrel. You think he does?
That's surprising. Yeah, so the number of the barrel's out there, and then we get the supercharged secret up here. And that's where the out of bounds secret is, right behind that switch crevice. So last couple barrels, going to lower lift here, and now we are entering Hectic. Hectic is the super secret level, which has its own kind of secret exit. There's a normal exit if you can't do the 3 challenges of this room, because they're very hard. You can see right away we have this room with arachnotrons. All you get is a rocket launcher. So we also have a few Hell Knights coming up. This very narrow bridge. Not really any safety going on here. But yeah, we just go
really?
for,
He knocked me off. That's incredibly rare. Yeah, so the fireballs can have a little bit of a knockback. And
this room is so rough.
Yeah, especially coming in with such low armor. This is really rough. I got pretty beat up in the Arachnotron room. This is pretty dicey. Come on. This is pretty much going to set the tone for the whole run, because this category is absolutely brutal.
This, in my opinion, is one of the hardest parts of the run. Nice.
Finally out of that.
Yeah, there is also a yellow key room, but there has no monsters. So what happens is we take the secret exit there to unlock the features menu. But in the remaster, it's permanently unlocked once you get it once, so we don't require it. And that room has no monsters, so we just ignore it and take the normal exit. So here we get the chain gun, which acts a little bit differently than from PC Doom. Just fires a little bit faster. It's more viable for a lot of situations. And here, what's coming up called a key bump, which, very nice. That was quick.
First try.
Yeah, so essentially what happens there is you get a specific angle going, and then you throw yourself towards the ledge, and for like a game tick, it thinks you're in the ledge, and then ejects you, so you can basically just, jump up to the top shelf, grab the key. That's kind of what happens. And then we're going to have to, kind of chill here for a while in this room. And we can talk about macros for a second here. Macros are basically just scripts that, as a mapper, you can put in as a sequence of events, unique to Doom 64's engine. And it can lead to some really interesting and creative just level transformation sequences. Like here you see these like pistons crushing down the floor so you can get to this lower part for progression.
One of the great things about 64 is just the level design is very unique. The mappers had a lot of really cool mapping tricks that you'll see later on.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of a tough section coming up, like, 12 plus hit scanners going on. Yeah, we hit a switch to get progression for this yellow key, and then we're gonna pick up a secret. Well, we have to anyway. We even do it in speed, just because it's 20 rockets, and it's not really out of the way. We are going to need those rockets for some upcoming levels.
And then we're actually going to do part of this level backwards. I didn't manage to punch a single Spectre right there. The fist hitbox is really awful to work with, but I kind of need the damage, so we rely on it only for the first couple levels here. But we're actually going to do this part backwards. It just works out a little bit better. Ammo-wise, saves me some rockets for later. And we can just get all these enemies that we skipped and don't have to backtrack for the other way. Because that was one of the big things when I rerouted this category earlier this year for a different event, is cutting down on a lot of the backtracking.
Yeah, and the Berserk Fist does so much work. It's great. Alright, so, level 3, main engineering. We pick up our new weapon, the Super Shotgun, SSG, however you want to call it. Very lovingly called the workhorse of any, casual run, speed run, whatever. So what we did just now is peek into that room to start a level transformation sequence, like a macro that we have to wait for, and then come back. You're going to see a lot of multitasking, especially in this category. So if you have level progression that you need to wait on, you want to multitask while killing stuff. And speaking of, we have to kill a lot of cac demons for level progression here, and I believe we did... Oh, nice telefrag.
Yeah, it was funny. I think I spent more rockets than I was supposed to, so I'm going to be a little bit down, but this is fine. Just want to make sure everything in this room is dead, because since we don't have kill or secret counters on screen, we have to keep very close track of everything, because we're only going to be able to check at the very end of levels.
Yeah. One thing that happened in that room as well, so the switch activated the progression for the yellow key, and it also spawned a bunch of cacodemons for the kill trigger. What I believe happened, Zilla, he spawn blocked one of the cacodemons. So basically, in Doom 64, there's not really monster closets like you would see in PC Doom. Monsters don't teleport in, they spawn in on the spot. If you're standing where the monster would spawn in, it just fails to do so, and that's good for 100% kills, actually, because they don't count towards the kill counter until they spawn in. If they never spawn in, then you don't have to worry about it. And I also want to, for this next level, flashing lights warning in like, 10-15 seconds as we pick up a supercharge.
Yeah, it'll be coming up in this first hallway right here after I pass through the door. So if you have a problem with flashing lights, please look away for about 20 seconds or so.
And I'm just gonna let this play out.
Yeah, thankfully this is the only instance you'll see of flashing lights, so it'll be okay. So we'll get out of here in just a second.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right, and now y'all can look now. Yeah.
That sucked. That was not.
That's why we give that warning, because it's pretty jarring, even for me. Coming from somebody who's played this game years and years and years and years, even I hate it.
As Doom players, we're used to red screen gaming, but that's a little much. So what we're gonna do here? So Zeal's gonna fire a few rockets at the wall, and that's exploiting an infinite height splash damage quirk of the engine. So like, it doesn't really check for height in terms of splash damage. Basically, like how any actor thing works, everything has infinite height essentially. So it just horizontally matters how close you are. And then we do a little switch puzzle here to get to our first secret level. Well, if you want to not count tactic, like the first, I guess, proper secret level for 100%. We're coming up. This is the normal exit. We have to kill like the 4 Hell Knights in here. So now we're coming up to a very narrow, like, pillar jump section that's kind of tricky because there's Hell Knights at the end here. It's not a lot of room to dodge.
Thankfully that went by pretty easily.
Yeah, that was clean. Nice. All right, so we are coming up on our first Demon Key secret level. That's another thing about 100% after this intermission text. So we have this secret level, and we have like this big secret within a secret level. And that red key is, key, so to speak, to the secret that we need to get. So demon keys, they do 2 things. They power up what's called the Unmaker, this unique weapon in Doom 64 at the time. I believe it's now also in the later games like 2016 and Eternal. And it also helps with the final level, and we'll talk about that as we get there. Yeah, we also saw our first instance of the Mancubus. There was a really scary room with 4 and just like a very small square room. Yep, and there we got the Unmaker.
No, it's the what the blah 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 is this.
Yeah, that's the canon name.
I love that name for it.
Yeah.
So we got to do a bunch of switch puzzle stuff to get to the actual demon key, and I'm gonna miss the cycle unfortunately because that imp didn't die, but that's okay. It's a very complicated room. There's a lot of secrets in this room too that you wouldn't think would be.
It's really funny. Like, there's a bunch of items that are tagged as secrets. That's another thing you can do in Doom 64. Like, normally, just like for secrets, you have to step on sectors to get credit for them. But you can also tag items as secrets, and they count for secret credit once you pick them up. Like the that supercharge was a secret item. The mega armor was a secret item. The backpack. This super shotgun. Kind of silly. And also, we do not want to pick up that Berserk pack because it basically reactivates that room with the making by, spawns another wave, and then a bunch of lost souls as well. So we just ignore it.
Yeah, you should be good on help anyways from the supercharge. So if you needed to pick that up, then something went horribly wrong.
Yeah. All right, here we're going to see our first instance. Well, we saw them earlier, but not really. Of pain elementals. They are extremely dangerous in this game specifically. They spawn 2 lost souls instead of 1 every time they attack, and also you'd think like, okay, you could just face tank them like you would in PC Doom, but no. If you try and do that, you're gonna take rocket splash damage because that's just their properties for lost souls. If they fail to spawn from pain elementals.
Yeah, especially since they spawn 2 instead of 1 in this game. That's double the splash damage in your face. So that usually just kills you on this difficulty.
Yeah, it's rough. So, a little bit more of a breather, but, not too much since it's still watch me die and everything is dangerous. So this tech center, kind of a callback, I would say, to Tricks and Traps from Doom 2. So you got like the central hub that we started out with, and like a branching octagon of 8 paths, and we just have to like go around a bunch, with progression. And here we see an instance of like utilizing rockets to their fullest potential. Just like corral those Hell Knights into like that little doorway and utilize the splash damage as much as we can.
Yeah, rockets have 2 components. They have a direct damage component, which can do anywhere from 20 to 160 damage in increments of 20. And then we have the splash damage, which is up to 128 damage, and that's distance-based. So the damage range on rockets is very variable, and that's the reason why this category is so incredibly tough, is managing. Is stuff going to die in 2? Is stuff going to die in 4? Well, you just have to adapt on the fly, as you see.
Yep. And probably a good time to talk about randomness. Yeah, like Zila said, damage, rockets is random. Pretty much everything you could think of is random in terms of like at least combat. Like the enemy movement, when they fire, how much damage their attacks do. And the same goes for your shots as well, like your shotgun spread is random, and so on and so on. Usually you have like a count for each enemy. So like Hell Knights almost always take 3 shotgun SSG blasts or 3 rockets. Barons take 5, and so on and so on. So you go under that assumption, but there's rare cases where it can take like 2 or 4. This sneaky little lost soul corner they hit the backtrack for. That was a good worst key in the game, actually.
Yeah, that was good. It's a lot less scary in this category since you don't have Hell Knights trying to shoot you down.
Yeah, that key is rough because like you have to stop in the little hole there, and there's ceiling crushers all around it, so it's really hard to get in and out of, especially without taking damage. So we're coming up on the end here, just a few more Hell Knights and such spawned in.
Yeah, you can really see just the SSG doing a lot of work here, and it really goes to show how important shell routing actually is for the early game, because you can definitely run out of shells in some spots if you're not careful.
Yeah, I know, like the end of this specific day, I usually run out of shells when I routed it before. Alright, yeah, so far so good. So, level 6 Alpha Quadrant, Okay, nice, Calc died there. I think it's kind of a dice roll if it does or not, like 2 shotgun blasts may do it, may not. Yeah, we're going to get a Megasphere pretty soon after we get the yellow key here. Just have to kill these 2 Hell Knights that spawned in. That's going to trigger a kill macro. Get, the yellow key here. I don't know if we pick up the backpack.
Yeah, I do now.
We do.
The extra cells are really nice, because backpacks give 20 cells.
Yeah. Yeah, cells and rockets are the most important ammo in, like, really any category of what you run. We see a rocket launcher here, but we don't want to pick it up, actually, because that triggers a bunch of waves of enemies. Like, what is it? A bunch of hit scanners, I think 4 more Hell Knights. It's just not worth it in the long run.
I think I activated the enemies in a weird way. I wanted to group them up in a little bit more efficient way, but we'll make do with what we got here. Yeah, enemies try and follow you to an extent, so we use that to our advantage and try and group them up in good ways so we can get more rocket shots or just move them in favorable spots for us to pick off.
Alright, so now that we've got the yellow key, we can make sure we get this bridge going. We have to hit it once for that door to open, and then we can get that like little ceiling out of the way. I'm gonna try and do a ledge jump here after we get rid of this Baron.
First try, nice.
Nice.
You have just enough speed to cross that, so that skip's needing to hit a couple switches. So even with this category being a 100%, there's still a bit of skipping you can do. Also, that imp got mauled.
Yeah, I saw that.
All right,
so
talk about
now-
this door coming up.
Okay, yeah, so we have a door on the lower right-hand side here. We actually open it from the back end, since I guess there's no like vertical door checking. There's not really much in the way of verticality, because it's like kind of a fake 3D, 2.5D, whatever you call it, engine. So they kind of make do with it, just with the engine quirks that they have. And then, yeah, this room proper we refer to as the American Gladiator room. As you can see, we have a bunch of pillars. Oh, nice.
No, we're just gonna get rid of this guy.
He's on point.
He keeps dodging all my rockets too, so that's not helping. So we want to get on this side right here because when we kill all these barons, a pain elemental spawns. We want to just block it. So we're good there.
Yeah, nice. That is, yeah. In the early game, that is a pretty infamous room. So that one pretty decent, I would say.
Yeah, in this category, it's not so bad, but in speed, like if you saw my SGDQ run, that room is a nightmare to get through.
Yeah. Just a few more barons at the end here. This wad loves barons.
This game really loves barons. Maybe a little too much at times. I love this game to death, but there are a lot of barons in this category that we deal with.
Okay, so now we can talk about line defs and line def skipping, which we're gonna do right here. So you're gonna see Zilla line up an angle.
There you go.
Real quick. Nice. And then the only rocket jump as well. First try, very, very nice. So yeah, what line defs? Yeah. What that line def skip is normally. Ooh, ouch. When you cross a specific point in that room, a bunch of lost souls come in. But we line up an angle and get, we strafe run to essentially skip the trigger there. It's like you have to cross over the line def normally. Yeah, it's in such a way that like you're never technically touching the line, and that's good for a lot of cases. We're gonna do a lot of that in terms of just like skipping fights. So yeah, the moral of the story is no news is good news in terms of that. This also can be detrimental, and just by accident you can skip line defs, and there's actually like a chance to do it here, but we mitigate that by doing very deliberate, careful, a bit slowdown movements. So like the way this and PC Dooms work in terms of 3D, they kind of fake it with like doubling up, so to speak, on like terrain and topology and everything. So we're gonna go down to this like sewer area, and if you see that staircase leading up, we're actually going under that area as well. But like around the corner, essentially it uses like instant floor moving to kind of give the illusion that like you're going above or below, if that makes sense. And if we skip those line depths, it's not gonna do it properly, and there's a chance of a soft lock. You could just like plummet down to this level when you ascend the staircase. Yeah, luckily it didn't happen there.
Yeah, you just get stuck, and that's no bueno. Don't want that to happen.
Yep.
That might come up later on, though, because TerraCore is infamous for that with its level design.
Yeah, oh man, they really took advantage of like the bridge ceiling system going on there. And we are coming up on the end here. Just one more Hell Knight at the end.
Alrighty, so one last Moonbase level here. I need to make sure I get everything in this initial room. Okay,
Nice.
I want to make sure everything was dead because I wasn't sure if that last shot was going to hit because I can't return to that room.
Yeah. Swag rocket?
Swag rocket's great.
That's my favorite rocket in the game.
The one in Research Lab is pretty good too, with the 5 lost souls.
Yeah. Yeah, somehow the rocket here kills all the zombie men, but doesn't touch you at all, which is great. It's really convenient. We're gonna set up another line depth skip here. Hopefully this works out.
This should be good. Okay, we're good.
Nice. Again, no news is good news.
And then we have our favorite key bump coming up right here. So you can do the key bumps from any angle, really. Your hitbox is actually a square. It's not like a triangle like you see on the map here. So I'm going to actually use part of the wall, face it, so I can get a visual cue. And then I'm going to run backwards at the key to pick it up right here. So you can see this key right there. I'm just going to line up right here and pick the key up with my butt. So you got it here. Doom guy's got good booty. That key is lodged in his butt cheeks, and that's why we call that booty grab.
He's got the glutes. It's really funny too, because like, there's two things about that. Well, I guess we go here in max, because yeah, we have to kill everything. But yeah, we have to grab the red key no matter what for progression, just to get to the end of the level. So in speed, we never touch this room, but we get the red key anyway. But like, the way to get to the red key, we don't even touch it max. Like that category, none of the categories touch that like arena room. Because, like, it's all just spawning in enemies. Speaking of spawning in, I think you got a Hell Knight spawn block?
I got one of them.
Can't say. Okay, yeah, nice. Yeah, this is like the end for all the moon-based stuff. So, like, you got this big, like, pillar fight with the Barons in the middle. There's a few Knights that spawn in. One of them got spawn blocked, as Zeal said, by an inner imp. And then we've got to be kind of careful with this ascending staircase here, because if you go down there, you're not getting out.
Yeah, you're stuck. You just slowly die, so don't do that. So.
Yeah.
Oh, now we've got a big arena level coming up, and this is one of the scariest levels in the game.
Yep, we got even simpler. Our first proper hell-themed level. Very obvious callback to Doom 2's Dead Simple, if you played that. Even starting out with the same enemies. We got Nakibai, and then we got our next wave of Kakos and Hell Knights, of which for the next wave of progression, I believe we only have to kill the Hell Knights. But, you know, eventually we have to kill everything for 100%. And
we're going to take a very specific route, because I also want to block Barons on the next wave. And then I need to book it to these pain elementals before they start spawning things. We're going to grab the Zimbaln and run.
Yeah, pain elementals, I would say, are just always a top priority to kill in, like, any situation in this game.
Oh god, that one didn't die.
Yeah, because Lost Souls, they are extremely dangerous in specifically Doom 64. They only have half health compared to Doom, like PC Doom, but due to like how fluid their animation frames are, they attack so much more often, and they're a lot faster too.
How did a Baron manage to get on the side over there? I'm way down where I want to be on rockets, so I'm going to do this. And we'll just make up the rest later. Okay, hopefully that's everything. So the weird thing about Pain Elementals and Lost Souls in this game is that Pain Elementals, when they spawn the Lost Souls, those Lost Souls still count towards the kill counter, which Lost Souls didn't used to. They only counted kills in PC Doom games until version 1.66 in PC Doom. And then everything from then on, they no longer counted towards the kill counter. But because the Doom 64 engine is based on PlayStation Doom, which is based on Jaguar Doom, which is based on a very old version of Doom, the Lost Souls count towards the kill counter, which makes them aggravating because we do have to deal with them in 64.
Yeah, I guess the Lost Souls got kind of grandfathered into the kill count. Alright, so this is the bleeding. We're gonna pick up, actually, I believe, 2 new weapons here. The plasma gun, which we saw earlier. It's not gonna get any use in this category specifically. Like, with the one Demon Key Unmaker, it's already outclassed. And then the other one is the BFG, which I can talk about real quick. I believe you may have seen it in the previous run with Sigil 2. Behaves pretty much the same. You fire a big ball, and once it hits anything, there's tracers that fire out, and that's where the bulk of the damage comes in. There's like 40 tracers going out in like a cone shape of where, like the angle of Doom Guy, where the direction he fired the ball. And yeah, it's good for like crowd control or just melting really powerful monsters.
Okay, we're going to tap that gargoyle space right there. That activates the ledge that gets us to the BFG. Oh my goodness, that scratch.
Yeah.
I'm a little scared, and they're kind of closing in on my position here. We're just going to shotgun our way out here.
That was a nice low damage roll, at least.
Yeah, so fireballs can do anywhere from, like, I think 8 to 80 damage. It's a big range.
Yeah. Oh, spawn block 1. There's usually 3 Mankey by that spawn there. That's why we kept the Spectres alive, to try and spawn block. Then we're going to do a huge line death skip here.
Oh, come on. Yeah, this one's very precise. I have to make sure my angle's right here. And we're going to get the health. That should be good. Good.
Yeah, so what that line death skip did was, yeah, you saw like all of those enemies crowded around. Imagine double that if we didn't do that.
Yeah, and it would be like almost all pain elementals, or not pain elementals, Mankey by. So I'd be eating up all my ammo. Ammo's already at a premium in this category.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, so skipping fights via line death skips accomplishes 2 things, really. Like, it lets you go faster, and it lets you save ammo, and both are really nice. So yeah, this is Terracore, as Zila was talking about earlier, with just like the pseudo 3D design. We can see like a bunch of kind of bridge architecture going on here, and yeah, the way that works is, like I mentioned earlier, around every corner where you can't see like the bridges proper, that's where the floors like raise and lower, and it really sells the illusion that like this is a true 3D map when it really isn't. Like if you go on,
if you want some proof that the bridges and such are happening, you might hear some like corpses get crushed when you turn around random corners, and that's the floors raising and lowering and crushing the corpses in the process. It's really funny.
Oh yeah. This fight, it doesn't look bad, but it can be very scary if you don't get to that corner. This is, I think, at least casually, one of the harder fights in the game.
Yeah, you get pretty overwhelmed, and I think some enemies went around the corner here. They might still be here. Okay, we got everything. Yeah, you have to kill everything in order to leave the room, so that's our cue. Here's where I have to be careful not to get stop locked, because if you skip triggers here, you'll see a giant hole in the floor, but you can't actually walk over it, and it's basically just an invisible wall, so we don't want that to happen.
Yeah, it's right before that switch, I believe. Yeah, it thankfully didn't happen. You just run and jump to get that switch on the top of the wall there. That'll open up a secret for a supercharge.
I missed the switch, I guess. I guess I must have missed it. That's fine. No big deal. It's a surprisingly difficult switch to hit, because if you're doing it from head on, you just barely have enough speed to get to the wall, and you just have a little bit of time. But if you're diagonal strafe running to get more speed, the angle's a little bit awkward.
You surprisingly can't like hit the switches from way below or way above. Like I guess it depends on the mapping, but like I've noticed in Doom 64 that that's not a thing you can do typically for switches.
Yeah, the engine changes in general are very interesting to like talk about and think about. They offer, like, you have the core Doom 64 experience, but it's so vastly different in ways. Alright, we're going to see if we can group these barons up right here. Because I'm going to try and plow my face into them with the BFG. So let's see if they cooperate here. That's 2 of them, that's good enough.
Nice! That was very good tracer.
And just a bunch of shotgunners right here. Thankfully, in this category, we have our resources. I thought the game was going to crash for a second because that quick save took forever. That scared me for a second. Oh, we're good there. But yeah,
Okay,
since you have resources at the end of that map, it's a lot less scary because you don't get blasted down to 0 health like you would in Speed.
Yeah, Speed is so scary. I mean, even Max is scary. This game is scary. Anyway, yeah, so we have Altered Pain. It's kind of the first castle-themed level. We're going to be seeing a lot of that just going forward in this campaign. This is kind of a tricky one to get 100% kills on, because, like, it's a very open area. There's a lot of, like, roaming enemies, like Pinky's Cacos. There's a bunch of imps just on, like, the high ledges there, and even more spawn in, like, at the halfway point or so after we get the red key.
Yeah, I'm so low on shells, I'm gonna just go to bullets here.
Yeah, that is fair. Bullets are... Chain gun is more than good for imps, so...
That should be good enough for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually the shell routing gets tight around this level, and then after this level, it's a little bit more open, but this level in particular, just you have so much high-level combat, and the SSG is just the best way to handle a lot of things.
Also, not even close to having to pick up the Armor of Shame, so that's good.
Yeah, we call this one the Armor of Shame. If you get below 100 armor, then you have to replace your armor there. But green armor only offers 1/3 damage protection as opposed to Meg armor, which does 1/2. So if you have to pick it up, you're getting less protection out of it. So if you don't have to pick it up and you can extend your 50% protection, that's great.
Yeah.
And we can pick it up again later anyway, so we'll get some use out of it.
There are some circumstances where you would want to pick up green armor, even if you have, like, still some blue armor left, but, like, mostly when you're at, like, low armor points, like, I don't know, 40, 30, kind of low on that end. But yeah.
Hear me out. Diamond armor.
Diamond armor.
I'm just saying, if we have enough diamonds, we could do it.
That would be an even better armor class, I'm sure. Let's get that 75% reduction.
At least one person in chat laughed at my joke, okay? And I'm with that one person.
Making sure to avoid the power down there. We got a little close. That was that like red lightning ball was the partial invisibility, which I'm sure in PC Doom for most cases that's also kind of bad. Except for hit scanners. But yeah. So now we have this rune coming up with 5 barons. It's like kind of pentagram at the
kind of corralling him in a bad way. Let's try this. Okay. That guy's like all the way back there. I'm just gonna deal with him with rockets.
Yeah, that's fair.
And hopefully we'll get this spawn block right here. This one's important. Because we stopped one other Baron from showing up, so we can just BFG the other one and get out. Because if you have to deal with both of them, the ammo consumption's a little tight.
Mm-hmm. That's that room is actually also the first, barring the secret levels, actual instance of the Unmaker in the game. I think it's pretty much that and the final level that it appears in.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of places to pick up an Unmaker, surprisingly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, I have 3 extra rockets I can spare. We'll toss them in the corridor right here.
But yeah, speaking of secret levels, we are going to get our, well, depending on how you want to count, 2nd or 3rd secret level of this run, coming up on the layer, which is going to be...
Still trying to hit me. Hold on. Oh, okay. I forgot. I forgot that end. Don't want to skip stuff. So
yeah.
we jump in the wall here. This has the secret exit for the level. We can head towards the layer next.
Yeah, that supercharge is on like kind of a rock that's shaped like an arrow, so it's a little bit alluding to it.
Yeah, if you look at it on the map, you'll see it pretty easily. It'll be like, what if I do this? And hey, it happens to work.
So here we got the layer. Getting a blue key after this imp kill trigger right away.
Yeah, I'm gonna deal with these Lost Souls first. These Lost Souls love to just wander around and cause problems, so we're gonna get rid of most of them now. We can deal with the rest later.
Yeah. And like I mentioned for the first secret level, Outpost and Mega, we see demon keys. We're gonna have one in here. Gonna pick up our second one, and they're basically secrets within secrets. They're usually pretty tricky to try and figure out how to get to. This one is essentially a sequence of shoot triggers. So there's some switches that you can only activate by shooting them with hit scan weapons like the pistol, chain gun, and actually also the Unmaker is technically a hit scan weapon.
Also, funny note, I actually managed to pick up the demon key without triggering the secret effect, so I had to make sure I touched the actual secret so I could get credit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this level has also a fun few quirks. The thing you use the yellow key on that we just picked up isn't actually a switch. It's a cross-line def where if you have the yellow key, it reveals the switch you need to hit. But if you don't have it, you just hear the oomph sound, like you're trying to open something that you can't.
Yeah, you'll get the key prompt.
Yeah, I think it's the only instance like that in the game.
I think so.
Yeah, there's also a secret Berserk pack that we don't pick up because it's not initially spawned in, and just like kill counts for enemies, this also applies to secret items. So it's kind of a spawn block or spawn prevention, but with items.
Alright, this begins the very hard stretch of the run right here. This is a little before halfway, but the next 3 levels are some of the most brutal in the entire run, just because of how long and difficult they are. Starting with, we'll have one of my favorite strats coming up in just a bit.
Yeah. So yeah, this one is Dark Citadel. This is on the longer side for sure in terms of levels. This one has a few main parts to it. So we have the main hallway, which leads to everything else. Got this little secret alcove here. Nice cell pack, and here's the strat Zero was talking about. So we get the Arachnotron angry at us. It tries to fire at us, but we don't hit the Baron, and we get the Baron's.
There we go.
Nice. Yeah, we get the Barons angry at the Arachnotrons, and we just sandwich the Barons between the Arachnotron and ourselves, and it's that is so much damage output, which is good because Barons, aside from Cyber Demons in the final boss, have the most health in the game. They are tanks.
There's an imp missing. There he is.
And also, we have a infamous room coming up called the we call it, I guess, the Dart Room. So we activate this switch. It opens up a bunch of dart traps and also reveals the blue key. That is, while you're alive. That's
We're good.
Yeah. So yeah, you're actually safe in this bottom step, even though there's all this chaos happening with the dart traps. We're also going to just activate it again because the darts also hurt the Barons, which, funny enough, are tall enough to get hit on the bottom step by the darts, but you're not. So that helps a bunch with just getting them down.
I'm going to secure this corner right here so I have some cover because there's a lot of imps and cacos, and we definitely want to get rid of the cacos now because they like to follow you to other parts of the level if you manage to leave them alive. So we don't want that to happen.
Oh yeah, I know that all too well from when I ran this category.
Game does some very funny shenanigans when you let enemies just have their way, so we don't want that to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
My health is pretty scary right now, so I'm just being very cautious.
Yeah, it's a little...
Yep, sniped. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, those Arachnotrons are in a prime position to give you a bunch of trouble.
Yeah, we actually want to get rid of all the imps now. You might think if we have to come back to this part later, why don't we just do it later? Well, we want them out of the way now so that we can have proper enemy movement later on because we will have to lure some enemies over. So it's better to just deal with the imps now, give the remaining enemies later a clean path to just move, and we can get them in a good spot.
Yeah, and that's what also we're saving the invuln for, just the end, when there's a bunch of stuff that spawns in. Pretty high level stuff too, like mostly barons. Again, this game loves barons. Yeah, now we're in
Oh
the...
dear. That was scary.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I got a max damage shotgun shot in the back right afterwards. That's just insult to injury right there.
Of course.
So that's the power of the 2-key unmaker. So it fires as fast as it will for the rest of the game, and we get 2 lasers instead of just 1. And when we get the 3rd key, we'll get 3 lasers, which will be even more ridiculous.
Yeah, like even with the 2-key unmaker, it focuses down. Oh, ammo box jump scare, by the way. I love that.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, with the 2-key unmaker as we have it now, it focuses down even barons like super fast. It is so good. But it also is a cell hog, so you have to be wary of that. I'm just cleaning up the library here, not too much else going on. Got a few barons coming up. Gonna take a bit. I'm not sure how we deal with them weapon-wise.
Rockets are
Doing
good right
rockets.
here.
Okay.
Got pretty
These
okay
little
damage
strips.
rolls.
Yeah. Got a... Nice, I made the lift.
Alright, now we want to get rid of the Cacos here so they're not following me. We want to drag this Baron all the way over here, too. Which is a little tricky. Because we want all of these enemies grouped up for later. So we're just going to kind of just drag them around the room. Going to deal with those Arachtrons now. Looks like one of them already died earlier, so that's good news, yeah. We'll grab these rockets. We're going to get credit for this secret, but we're not actually going to get the stuff in the secret because that's a very long trip.
Yeah. I think the Arachnos caused some infighting too. I was not sure.
So this is actually the exit room. We're actually just going to aggro everything in here, and we'll come back later. But this also keeps luring the barons on the lower floor towards us, so that's why we're doing this really weird movement, getting supplies in the meantime.
Also, shoutouts to the imps stuck in the ceiling, in the exit room.
Oh yeah, that one's so great.
Now we got some nice beefy BFG shots.
I'm missing one baron. I think he didn't want to come over. Yep, there he is. Oh, 2 of them, actually. All right. That's fine. We've got plenty of rockets. Let's see, where am I at? I have 12 rockets to spare, 1 more shot I can use. Yeah,
Perfect.
Yep, I've actually got my ammo counts that I need on my splits, so that way I can keep track of them a lot more easily.
That is also exactly what you want to see at the end. All 4 barons just right there. Alright, so Eye of the Storm. This is just another scary level because this is very stingy on the resources, specifically armor. There is 0 armor in this level, which makes Isles terrifying.
Yes, doing Isles at this level is absolutely the worst.
Yeah. So what we need to do for progression is specifically killing the barons, of which there are 4, and we're doing some deliberate movement and routing here. So there's actually 2 line deaths, one of which we can't really avoid. This one right here, which spawns, I think 8 pinkies on the other end of this castle. And we're gonna try and not cross the line here, right, like around this area. So if you notice, Zilla's not really going forward from here. So we're just gonna try and go around because there's a secret that we pick up with the BFG, and we can essentially just backtrack back up to this level.
Fortunately, the other Baron did not want to cooperate, so we're going to have to deal with them down here, which is a little bit more difficult. So we're going to do that. I missed the trigger on that, so that's fine. We're actually going to quick save and quick load. This is intentional. So there's a bunch of lost souls that actually spawn. I'm trying to activate this with the wrong key. Anyways, there's a bunch of lost souls that normally spawn, and they're aggro the moment the key comes down. But with an intentional save and load, they actually de-aggro. And this is good because we can have those lost souls block other lost souls from showing up later.
Yeah, like the moment you fire a shot here, they do aggro, but due to where we are in the level, they mostly stay where they are. So we don't have to worry about that too much. And speaking of Lost Souls, man, this level loves Lost Souls. Because we're going to see a bunch of spawns here. Well, this room can get pretty scary if you're just caught in the middle there. And once again, the chain gun, like with increased fire rate compared to PC Doom, is perfect for like the half health Lost Souls. Like it's so good for focusing them down. And then once we kill the Barons here, there's actually a supercharge that spawns in the middle. We don't want to pick that up. Oh yeah, there's actually one down there. That's kind of rare, I think.
Happens occasionally, but yeah, we don't want to pick up the Soul Spirit that shows up because that actually makes a bunch of Cacodemons spawn. So we're just going to play this out with what health we have, and I'm not in great shape right now. I should be okay, but this is very scary with all of these shotgunners here that can just whittle me down very easily.
Yeah, also volley morning for this shot. Just killing, I don't know, 20 plus Lost Souls instantly.
Okay, now we have to pray that none of the Lost Souls left this area because that is a real thing that can happen. Okay, we're lucky.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's happened so many times in my runs. It's bad news. So yeah, funny key bump here with the blue key, and there's a couple of Arachnotrons here behind that like black space that you can't really see at all.
That Lost Soul in front of me did not get a single tracer on it. I feel ripped off. Not a single tracer hit that one. All right, so we've got the most difficult arena in the run coming up right here. At least in my opinion, this is the hardest arena to deal with because there's a lot of crap.
Yeah,
Do you think, after the arena would be a good time for a quick break?
After this level would be perfect.
Yeah, just let me know.
Yeah, I know this arena like was so tough to get past casually, like for my first play. And you can probably see why. There's a bunch of ground enemies going on. There's Arachnos, Barons, Knights. Luckily some infighting going on. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, they played really nice getting distracted by each other, so that's really great. Even that one was getting distracted.
Yeah. And then you got this switch you need to hit that's guarded by all of this stuff. Like, there's so much going on.
That was so clean. That one's still getting pissed off by that one over there.
They can't really do much to each other just because of the height difference. It's
yeah. So yeah, that was actually probably the cleanest that has ever gone.
Yeah, that was good.
Make
Now
sure
we're
there's
coming
no
up on
other imps over there because imps like to hide in that corner too. So we just need to make sure they're not wandering off. Yep, there's one somewhere over here.
Speaking of,
where is he? There he is, right there in the back.
So there's like this dart ridge coming up, like a bunch of dart traps constantly firing off. And the way back after you hit the red key is kind of scary because there's like 3 Barons and 2 Arachnotrons, and it is rough to deal with quickly.
I'm gonna grab this extra health. Oh, there's health over here. I'll grab this one. The last room is not any less scary, that's for sure.
Yep. Got a bunch more Lost Souls, and yeah, we didn't really talk about the tracers. They're essentially Revenants from Doom 2, like they're missiles that they fire off. Revenants aren't in this game, probably due to cartridge limitations, but you know, their projectiles are here in spirit, so gotta be very careful with that.
Alright, and we should be able to do a break in just seconds as long as I got 100 right here. So break in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, everybody, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, Zelo will be continuing Doom 64, Watch Me Die Dash Max. Don't go anywhere. GDQ Hotfix will be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to GDQ Hotfix Special of Doom. We are going to jump right back into this. Doom 64 with Zelo. Zelo, you ready to rock and roll?
I am. Thank you, Jiggy. So we'll get started again. Let's not exit the main menu like I almost did. That'd be bad. We'll start the timer back up in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so we have level 16, Bloodkeep. This is a bit of a breather from the last 3 levels, and got a nice actual break as well. Yeah, this is a bit more of an open-ended area. There's some pressure put on you when you're outside. There's lots of imps, hit scanners scattered around. First thing we want to do is just go around the river just to get this key. Hopefully, if we're lucky, getting out of this red door, some enemies will open it or keep it
we gotta kill everything anyway, so it doesn't matter in this category, thankfully.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, because we have to make the Barons show up here, so.
Yeah. I think usually, you do that in speed to try and get out before everything. But yeah. We do have to get all kills, so. Gotta spend some time with the Barons. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Imps just did not want to play right there, and they just kept blocking me out. That's fine.
This little corridor, like the blue corridor here, is kind of scary since you hit the switch, pillars lower, and there's a bunch of lost souls that just spawn in throughout the whole thing. So you want to get to an edge as quick as possible. Because
just book it to the end of the hallway so that you're not double teamed.
Yep.
I'm curious here. This is a question for both of you and Twitch chat, but what is your favorite Doom game?
Definitely 64.
Yep, definitely 64 here.
This is the one that I owned personally as a kid. Doom 1 and 2, that belonged to Dad. This was mine when I got the original N64 version back in '97, and I still have my original cart, and I've used that cart for previous Hotfix shows, actually. But the remaster is an excellent way to play, very accessible. It's only $5 for a full quality, high quality port of this fantastic game. So I do really highly recommend checking this game out if you've got $5 to spare.
Yeah, I got absolutely echo that sentiment through and through. I mean, there's a reason I routed this for WMD Max. There's a bunch of quality of life changes. This category I don't think would have been possible on the OG cart.
You did so much work making this come to fruition on the remaster, and I have to give a lot of thanks to you, because otherwise I probably wouldn't be running this category. Also, this room is scary.
Yeah. Yeah, there's in the original cart, there's no mid-level saving, so if you miss something, you just have to do the whole level over if you were doing WMD Max on the original N64 cart.
It'd actually be worse. Your run would be over because you can't even reload a previous password at that point, unless you remembered it.
Oh god, yeah.
So yeah, being able to quick save is pretty nice, and this port has a lot of other good quality of life features, like just the increased brightness and such, because the original game is very, very dark.
Yeah, that coupled with just playing it on the clunky CRT probably back in the day, it's just, it was hard to see anything. Yeah, again, huge shoutouts to Night Dive and the dev team for this remaster, for sure. Yeah, we're already coming up on the end of the level here.
Where did that waffle go? I saw one charge right past me.
I'm assuming
I hope he came back. I hope he came back. We're just gonna. Oh, there he is. He got lost and he came back. Speaking of lost, and Imp got lost.
Should do its name.
All right, one more very important line def skip here. I'm gonna use the shotgun to line it up. Hopefully that's good. Okay, we're good there.
Nice.
And then we've got one trick BFG shot right here. That is way early. Well, that works, I guess. I managed to fry at least a few of them. I shot way earlier than I was supposed to, so that's okay.
Yeah, also, don't be on the sides when that floor lowers, or there's no way out.
Yeah, there's no way out. You're stuck, and you just die. Game loved to do that.
Very mean for the original cartridge play, because there's no mid-level saving. Oops, gotta do it over again. But yeah, so this level. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, hey, that's a different show. You can't say "oops" here. This is the secret show of Doom. Different show.
Yeah, this level is one of my favorites. Watch your step. So there's two main parts to it. There's this like square corridor, and all those like symbols that you see at the bottom. They're more or less act as enemy spawn triggers for like the opposite end of the room. And there's been some very deliberate movement, also a line desk skip there, to avoid as many spawns as we can. The funny thing about this specific level is there's exactly one enemy spawned in initially, the pain elemental behind that gated door. But there's so much other stuff that's going on, so like you kind of have no choice but to like let a few things spawn in for progression.
Speaking of spawning for progression, we've got this big arena fight right here.
Yeah, there's like a few waves here. So we got zombie men, we got pinkies. Each wave has a specific like enemy or enemies that you have to kill, not all of them, to get the next wave to spawn.
Oh, this is
So
bad.
after imps, we have, I believe, Hell Knights, and then Arachnotrons and Mancubi. But we want to kill everything before we kill the last Arachnotron or Incubus, because once that happens, the last wave spawns in, which is 2 Cider Demons. We're going to see our first instance of that. Yeah, everything else despawns, and that's like one of the only instances of that happening. We talked about spawn prevention and spawn blocking and how that's, beneficial for 100% kills. It works the other way around. Anything that's spawned in automatically counts towards the kill count, no matter what. And if it despawns, it still counts, and there's no way to kill it, so you are out of luck.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to save here until the beginning of the next level. Hopefully we got everything without spawning any additional stuff in the first half of the level. Alright, we're good there.
Nice. Alright, so spawn here, coming up here. At the end, we're actually going to get our final secret exit. We'll talk about that when we get there. But yeah, this is like one of the longest levels, I think, in this campaign. There's so much backtracking to be done here. And we gotta get every secret, gotta get every kill. One of the first things we do is kill these barons for progression. The funny thing is, so that switch you see behind them acts as the same thing that killing all the barons does, so like, you can do either or, I suppose. I think on WMD speed we would hit the switch and ignore them.
Yeah, you can just kind of kite around them, so... Want to make sure I get a lot of bullets here too, because bullets are actually going to be used quite a bit.
Yeah, I believe for like all the lost souls, of which there are plenty in this map. And speaking of, I think we could talk about real quick the limits. So there's a lost soul limit, like there is in PC Doom, of what is it, 17?
17
Doom
and 64.
Yeah, and as long as those are alive, like that amount or more, pain elementals can't spawn lost souls, and that helps a ton with combat against them. And then coming up here, we have a nice little breather just for a second, and we're going to get into a very specific position. We otherwise have to just wait around for like the next part of progression. So there's this pain elemental that spawns. We're behind it. It's not aggroed. So this room is on a timer. If we aggro the pain elemental, what happens is like, there's spawns on a timer with that center portion where pain elementals just keep spawning in until the Hell Knights spawn in. If the pain elemental's there, it spawn blocks itself like another copy of it. So that's really nice.
Okay, get the secret plasma gun. Yeah, we've done a lot already. We are halfway through the level right now.
Yeah, I would say that red key pickup marks about the halfway point, because now we're going to go around to the basement, like, back area, where we're going to go out into, like, a courtyard section. And that's essentially the second half of the level. And we're also ignoring those imps behind the gate where the exit is, for very good reason. You'll see why when we get there. Yeah, there's a bunch of Hell Knights behind this red door we just rocket them down, and then like little bookcase over here is where we get to the back courtyard. And also I'd like to mention that there's a ton of resources, health and armor wise, in this. Like there's, what is it? There's this Mega Sphere, which tops you off 200. There's 2 supercharges, and there's a Mega Armor. So like this level is very, very generous in terms of just health and armor. So we got the Pan Elementals over here, which yeah, BFG took care of like 3 out of 4 of them, which is really nice, and none of them spawned Lost Souls, which is also very nice.
That's actually why we do that part first, because we're still under the Lost Soul limit of time, so we can abuse that so they can't spawn anymore.
Yeah.
Alright, where's the other Kako? There he is. Yeah, doing this room is quite a puzzle, figuring out how to optimize it.
Yeah, routing for this game is... It's so fun. And I got this, basically the last section. It's like little, fire river, I suppose, and I think our first instance of like a rad suit pickup basically acts the same as, in PC Doom. Shields you, except for 20 damage floors, of which we don't really see much of in here. It's either 5 or 10, I want to say, for like almost every instance.
Alright, a bunch of Hell Knights and a Baron show up here, so we've got plenty of rockets, so we'll go and burn them here.
Yeah, now that we got the yellow key, we can make our way to the exit after dealing with this tiny horde.
I'm amazed that last rocket managed to kill both of them. the Hell Knight was so far away, it must have been just on the verge of death.
Gotta love Rocket Splash.
Let's see if we get this this spawn block right here using the Imp. Yep, looks good.
Nice. So yeah, that's the reason we kept the imps alive. Once we cross that yellow door, there's a bunch of spawns that happen, including a Baron, which was spawn blocked by the imp there. It's a kind of a brutal exit room with 3 pain elementals, but yeah, we take care of that, we backtrack, make sure we take credit for this secret here. Okay, good.
I hugged the wall for that one just to make sure I don't miss it. Alright, we're good there. So that brings us to our last secret level, and this is the coolest conceptually.
Yeah, honestly, like this is my favorite aesthetically. With just like the teal fog going on. Like, so the N64 loved to have really thick fog in its games to cover up its like small draw distance, and I think it did this level wonders for the atmosphere. Yeah, I've got some Baron and I think Hell Knight infighting, which is actually unique to Doom 64. You can't do that in like the PC Dooms, because yeah, in Doom 64 they're classified as different enemies, where as I guess in PC Doom they're the same. Yeah, I think the first thing we want to do in this level, as you probably saw, is to take out the pain elementals that are roaming around, because this level, as you can see, is very, very open, very wide, and any lost souls that come out, like, they have so much room to roam around. It's bad news for maxing a level. This level overall, it's pretty long, despite like not having too much going on. It's just like long corridors and like a lot of backtracking.
Really scary fights too, like this.
Yeah.
I hope I get a little bit of infighting right here. Perfect. So they actually started infighting with each other.
Nice. Yeah, any infighting we can get is great. Just saves so much on ammo.
That was a good shot right there too with the BFG. It worked out nicely.
That was clean.
Yeah, so there's a secondary goal here. We need to kill everything before we start the hunt for the demon key, and Ellie can talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, so we just got, I believe, the blue key, so we're going to do more backtracking back to... We're actually going to see the demon key coming up right here, just as a bit of a teaser.
That's bad. He's like way out in the distance. Okay, I killed him. I just have to make sure these lost souls don't... There's lost souls over there, though. That's a problem.
Yeah, I think one went behind the wall, it looked like.
Yeah, this is actually a problem because now they're behind. Okay, I think that's the only one.
That's only one? Yeah. I want to say that too. But yeah, so we hit that blue switch. You would think that, oh, maybe it lower the ledge for the demon key. Nope. It just gives you more progression. The demon key is just kind of sitting on top of the ledge there. There's nothing you can really do about it. Yeah, so we get the yellow key here in this side area. And I believe that's everything in terms of kills now, right?
If that lost soul died, then yes, that's what I'm worried about. So we're gonna save as we activate the quake. We're gonna go start the sequence for the key. We're gonna hope. I don't hear anything, so I think we're good. So this switch shows up once you get to the exit and trigger the quake.
Yeah, so the key moves to a different location behind where we got the blue key, and there's a little pedestal raised up. We rush over to it, and the timing is kind of generous, but we want to beat another timer that starts when we grab the demon key. We can kind of stack the macro timers if we go quick enough, but long story short, we're trying to hit the level exit before a bunch of pain elementals spawn in, and there's only a couple seconds of leniency with that specific trick. This probably saves upwards of a minute. Hopefully 100%.
Oh, thank goodness.
Excellent.
Good. I was really scared I was going to have to do some shenanigans to get rid of lost souls.
Yeah, that fight that we skipped at the end, it takes forever. Shoutouts also to, I think, Kritine was the one who started implementing that in her runs.
Yeah, she found that out, so big shoutouts to her.
Yeah, so this is the spiral. This is another level, actually previous to In the Void, with 0 secrets. So we automatically get 100% secret credit, but there's so much going on in this small map. It's very dangerous, actually. It's a bunch of flying enemies. You got Kakos, we got pain elementals, and then we got the ground enemies, Mankybai. There's just so much pressure coming from everywhere, and especially once we grab the red key, there's a bunch more stuff that spawns.
I didn't realize that Mancubus was right there and I popped the rocket in my face. That hurt. Yeah, this level has a ton of rockets, so we just want to grab everything on our way out and be as close to topped out as we can be. We're in a pretty good spot with rockets. 89 is pretty good.
Yeah, this level has so many rockets, it's great. Yeah, that was the spiral.
There we go. Finally, we get a kind of a break of a level. This one's significantly easier than the last few have been.
Yeah, much less chaotic in terms of combat. But much more chaotic with this one in terms of terrain transformation and level geometry. This one's fun. This is Breakdown. Yeah, like I said, you're going to see a bunch of level transformation going on. So we got the blue key here. The door opens from the side after we hit the switch. Actually, yeah, we weren't looking at it at the time, but we also have a floating switch in the middle here, which is a kind of neat mapping trick. And then pretty soon we're going to get to the second half after we pick up, I believe, the red key coming up. We just have to go around this corridor with a bunch of shotgunners.
That kind of beat me up pretty badly. That's just the power of hit scanners right there. And imagine if I wasn't wearing armor with 50% protection, I'd be dead. Be very dead.
Yeah, the blue armor is putting in some work for sure. Yeah, here's the red key coming up. The nice pinky trap. Gonna try and break away to one corner of the room. See how that goes. Okay, and then yeah, we just book it to the edge and fire rockets from a distance. That helps focus down the pinkies a bunch, and I think a bunch of them are infighting too. Looked like.
Yeah, there's a couple of Hell Knights, so this guy does not want to die though. And that guy's just ready to give me a high five. He was set.
It's okay. You can come back at the end of the level for the high five.
Yep. Hopefully we'll get these two to high five each other for a bit. So come on. There we go. That should work. Oh, don't hit me. That was scary. I almost got smacked. So while they're doing their thing, we can do our thing. it looks like the Hell Knight already died, so we're gonna have to deal with him now. So let's go ahead and deal with this Baron now.
Mm-hmm. And I think, I don't know the specifics, but I know it was mentioned that like this level specifically was supposed to have like a kind of sequence of secrets going on, like in this area, I want to say.
Yeah, something like that. There was going to be like a really, really obtuse secret that doesn't actually exist. I think the map data for this game, you can still see like a bunch of tagged walls that don't do anything.
Yeah.
Where's the
That's
Baron?
just, I guess one of the things that was cut from the final product. Yeah, we're coming up on the end, kind of. Just gonna get another secret here. Hitting the switch lowers the wall for a BFG secret. There's actually a Mega Sphere coming up that I don't believe we get.
No, it's not tagged as a secret, and we can actually just get by with a soul sphere that we need to get for secret credit anyways, so we just grab that one.
Yeah. Kind of interesting that it's not labeled as a secret. There's a few instances of like that in this game that you would think would be secrets, but they're not. Yeah, so now that we have the yellow key, we can just make our way. Oh, there's the high five. High five. High five, okay. Yeah, this end level exit is the first of like our drop-down lined up cross exits. We want to be careful to not go too fast, because there's a chance we can skip the lined up and just soft lock. Oh, was that not 100%?
I did not get 100%, so
maybe, yeah. Maybe
I hear
it was...
something. Hold on. I hear it. There it is. I forgot about that Hell Knight.
Yep.
That's okay.
Well, I got to show that off.
Yep.
In terms of, like, what can go wrong in Max.
What can go wrong? But I didn't even see that. And I'm like, I'm still missing something. That's bad, because I'm scared I might have missed something in the opening area. We wouldn't be able to go back for that. So
yeah.
Let's do first. The only other place to check is the... hold on. Did we kill everything in here? Yeah, there's 3 imps dead. Let's go back to the hallway. If not, then I have to do some shenanigans outside. Oh, I hear it. There is just a random zombie man. Wow. Yeah, I was like, oh, this level's going great in my head. And it's like, no, we can fix that.
Yeah. So hopefully that's 100%.
Okay,
There
we're
we
good
go.
now.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so this level, level 21, Pitfalls, this also has a big divide in its areas. So we have this big cave area coming up that'll get transformed by a switch. Moves the terrain around a bunch, but we want to focus down these cacos a little bit with the Unmaker, which is now fully powered up, by the way. It just melts everything in its path.
Including myself.
Yeah, at the cost of just your ammo. Yes, that's the switch that starts the terrain transformation sequence. Gotta wait around a little bit, so more multitasking going on. Just getting some kills out of the way as we need to wait. There's like little Baron in the corner here that we just never touch on speed. We just ignore it outright.
Well, he touched me, so I think he's getting his revenge there.
Yeah. Can I get a high five too?
You get a high five. You get a high five. Imagine if Oprah was in the Doom universe.
Oh man. Yeah, so this is like the second half of the level, more or less, where there's like all of these winding corridors, these narrow hallways, which are gonna get kind of problematic as we
I can't get in the door.
This geometry.
The geometry just pushed me out.
That has happened to me too. It's so annoying. Yeah, there's a bunch of side rooms in this level. A lot to take care of, and it's easy to miss if you don't know how to route it. Yeah, at this point we're just getting to the end here. Gonna hit a switch soon to open up the blue key area, and we're gonna get a nice invuln after that. Which is good because once we get the blue key, there's going to be a bunch of barons in the way. I forget if you focus them down and kill them outright or wait until they come back.
I kill them now in this category.
Okay.
We got a little bit of a spawn block right there, so that's good. The two infighting over there overlap another one, so that's great.
Yeah, spawn blocking, infighting, got the works going.
Oh, I'm so glad that Fireball did not kill me. It got a pretty low damage roll. Alright, so we have the triple Unmaker here. We want to make this invuln as long as last as possible. So we're just going to shred right through them.
Yeah, you can see, these are full health barons. These are fresh spawns, and you can see just how fast they're dying from the 3-key Unmaker. Like, less than a second, pretty much. It's ridiculous.
Alright, now we also want to get more health for later because you're always at the risk of dying in this category. It might not seem like it, but you're always at the risk. So we're topped off pretty good now.
I see a question in chat, are there any revenants or archviles? Specifically, no for those enemies, I think just due to cartridge limitations. There's also no spider mastermind either. Oh yeah, also no, what is it? Chain gunner, hit scanner, yeah. And I think that's it, more or less.
Yeah, just those 4 were cut. Unless you really count John Romero's head, and I probably would. I'm trying to see where I'm at on ammo here, so no more rockets. Should be able to shred the rest of everything with just the Unmaker. I should end this level with about 160 cells, so we're on pretty good shape. Pretty good track here. Alright, is this jump going to give me a problem? Nope, all good.
Nice. Yeah, this is pretty much the end of the level right here. Another drop down. I don't know if there's risk of a soft block, but, you know, going slow.
I have, unfortunately.
Okay, never mind.
It's happened, unfortunately.
Alright, so now we got burnt off rings, and I think we're going to see our first instance of the chainsaw, right?
Yeah, we will see the chainsaw. So you've seen me use every weapon for up to this point, even the plasma, which I had used by accident in the last level. But we can see a little bit of chainsaw action in there.
Yeah, the chainsaw, it's actually another pickup right there, if you haven't gotten that already, funnily enough. It's actually really good in Doom 64. Like,
did I just spawn block that Hell Knight? I think I did.
Oh, we take those, sure.
I didn't know that was possible. Just marathon things.
Yeah. But yeah, the chainsaw is actually really good in Doom 64. It does, like, double damage. It's twice as it's twice as fast with the output, and it can stun arachnotrons pretty reliably. And I think you want to talk about this trick coming up?
Yeah, so this dart trap, we could activate a wall that blocks these darts, or we can just play Ring Around the Rosie, as Peaches likes to call it, which actually makes the script last a shorter amount of time. So it's not only faster, it's cooler looking.
Yeah, shoutouts to Peaches, also one of the OG Doom 64 runners.
Yeah, great friend, and definitely did a lot of the early routing. Even if it wasn't this category, he set a lot of the groundwork.
Absolutely. Yeah, we had a secret there with the Mega Armor, which unfortunately doesn't get its time to shine because we just got a Mega Sphere right away afterward. And then we pick up the yellow key here, and I'm not sure how many Arachnos spawned.
Oh, no. One did. Okay, one did.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, there's a weird quirk with this mech. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but yeah, once you pick up the yellow key, there's 3 arachnotrons that spawn in the back of that room, just like as an extra, pressure. If none of them spawn, you'd think that would be good, but for some reason, if that happens, later in the level at some point, the macro triggers again, and that it'll spawn all 3 because there's nothing in the room to spawn block it at that point, and it just wastes time because you have to backtrack.
I'm getting hard. Jeez. This is not as much help as I would like going into the end of this, because this is going to be a little dicey leaving this level.
Yeah. Actually, I want to talk real quick about that red key that we picked up. So it activates a really cool looking trap where the walls close in on you, but since terrain can't really move forward or backward, how it actually works is there's a bunch of walls that come up and down instantly in sequence. that's just another instance of like some really creative workarounds with this game's level design and the engine.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that until recently, so it's a pretty neat trick.
Yeah, and now we're gonna see the 3-key Unmaker in all of its glory, just melting everything in this courtyard area. It's so satisfying.
Where am I at on rockets? I can use 3 here. That one died in 2. That's pretty rare.
Nice. Yeah, rocket management and cell management is so important for this category.
I missed a secret. I think I know where it is. So there's one instance, there's a line def that I probably ended up skipping over. It's probably this one right here. Right here? No? What did I miss? I got the soul sphere. Trying to think what else there is.
Not the backpack secret.
I thought I got the backpack. Let's check it again. Oh no, that's why this guy didn't spawn. I never actually grabbed the backpack.
That makes sense.
Uh-huh. All right, well, there. Shenanigans are over. We're okay again.
Yeah.
It's just very easy to miss things like that. Okay, we're good. All right, well, here, our last instance of the chainsaw here. And this saves a lot of ammo and time, but it's also really awkward to use on Arachnotrons because Arachnotrons have rectangular hitboxes. So
Yeah.
it can be kind of bad when you don't actually make contact, but they're blasting you in the face.
I think it's a little faster to just SSG them down because like it takes less time than 3 SSG blasts.
It depends on the damage rolls probably, because you'll never do it in 2 for sure. You always do it in 3 or more.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is one of the, I think the third to last level, Unholy Temple. One of the longest levels casually, at the very least. But there's some stuff we do to make it a little bit quicker. So another big castle-themed area, and shoutouts to the skybox texture, like the animated green fire. It's so cool.
Yeah, the art design of this game is really fantastic. Just putting a new spin on the Doom thing, it's really good.
Oh, there's actually, yeah, that's the other instance of the Unmaker right there. I forgot about that one. Mm-hmm. With the cell secret. So now, kind of a scary Arachnotron fight. Yeah, there's a bunch of pinky spawns that come out. And we have to wait for them anyway, so we take care of these Arachnotrons right now. So like there's a few waves of pinkies that spawn in, and then barons, and then once the barons spawn in, that's when you can progress in the level. Like there's a switch back here, but for some reason you just, I guess because there's a macro going on, you can't activate it until that script is done.
Yeah, you have 3 waves of pinkies and a wave of barons that get airdropped in, as we like to say.
Yeah. Yeah, so now we started the key collection. So we got the blue key, going to get the red key over here, and then after that we get the yellow key in like the exit area coming up. But we're only like maybe halfway through the level, and actually coming up, this is a important line def skip, maybe the most important in the run. So normally this yellow key you see here keeps teleporting around until you can finally grab it. But if you grab it in the final position, it locks you out of the inside of the castle, and you have to kill a bunch of cacos to open it up. So we're just lining it up here.
I was too far that time. We'll move just a little bit here. So your position in that corner is a little variable, but we got a second try. Yeah, we don't want to get locked out of the castle because otherwise you have to kill 5 Cacodemons to get back in, which is very, very rough and time consuming.
Yeah. Like even though that key is teleporting around, if you skip the thing that, like the trigger that despawns it, you can just pick it up anyway. They're all real keys, so. Yeah, so now that we have all 3, we can get to this area, which is kind of a switch puzzle. There's, if you may have noticed, on other parts of the level, there's like a sequence of colors for switches. You have to hit the switches in that specific order, of which there's 3 different sequences. The easiest way to remember is just going around in a circle, turning right, starting with each switch of a different color. But yeah, if you're playing this blind, it's like one of the longest levels. You have to figure out how to open all of these doors.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
We get the rocket that we get the Hell Knight that's like all the way up there. It just loves to auto target the wrong thing.
Yeah. Coming up as a kind of tricky jump. Like if you run full speed at it, you're gonna bonk your head on the ceiling. I think there's people do it differently.
Yeah, I do a double tap.
The way I do it is just turning off auto run for specifically that one shot and turning it back on.
Yeah, that works too. The double tap is just muscle memory for me, so it's easy to remember.
Yeah.
So that should be everything in this level. So now we just make our trip to the exit, because thankfully the third barrier is deactivated by a switch that's conveniently right by the exit.
Yep, and then, assuming we have 100, let's see here. Yeah, okay,
right.
Now, an ultimate level, no escape. So if you liked 2 cyber demons and watch your step, well, we got 3 cyber demons in no escape, and one of them's just roaming around right at the start. I'm gonna take care of that thing right away. Yeah, even cyber demons, yeah, already dead from the 3-key unmaker. That thing just melts enemies. It's great. But yeah, for no escape, for Max specifically, there's a big enemy spawn chain that we have to trigger because it involves existing enemies. The Mankivi here that you see on the raising and lowering platforms. Yeah,
that was a little scary because I accidentally went up that elevator that I didn't mean to, and I almost rocketed myself in the face.
Oh.
That was very scary. So interestingly, we actually have to pick up a green armor in this level if you want to explain that.
Yeah, so in Doom 64 you can set like not only line defs but specifically items to trigger macros or whatever once you pick them up, and the lost souls that are coming up are, you know, locked behind a wall that you can only lower if you specifically pick up the green armor, like right here. I think one time
on the way out.
I think one time I was above 100 armor at that point, so I had to like intentionally damage myself a little bit.
Yeah, you had to just take a slime bath.
Yeah. Alright, so now we're coming up on the 2 cyber demons, letting them out of their cages. Kinda interesting combat here, because the Unmaker stuns them a bunch and it makes their nice. Yeah, it can make their firing very unpredictable.
Alright, that brings us to the last level, and we hope we don't have bad shenanigans that'll happen.
Yeah, oh man. The max categories for this, it can cause a few different soft locks, unfortunately, and it's at the very end of the run. So, this is the other thing that the demon keys are useful for. They're good for powering up the Unmaker. They're also good for hitting the switches here to seal off the gates that the monsters come in from. This is actually a proper monster closet, like one of the only ones in the game.
It happened, of course.
Of course it happened.
Of course it happened in a marathon. So just for whatever reason, sometimes something doesn't die and you're never able to spawn the final boss.
Yeah.
If that happens again, I'm gonna go no clip and see what happens, because it's funny, but I haven't like properly looked into it. So hopefully this gets everything this time. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Problem is we can still not get 100% kills if we're really unlucky, so hopefully that'll happen. By the way, here's the Mother Demon. There was the Mother Demon.
Yeah.
So if we have 100% kills, time is going to be at results screen. So hopefully we don't have to sit through a minute-long wait to get back. Time.
GG.
Oh.
GG.
Alrighty.
Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. That was so much fun.
Thank you. Yeah, so that...
Good run.
Thank you. So that's Doom 64. Watch Me Die Max for the main game. I hope you all enjoyed. It's a really fun, very difficult, but rewarding category, but it is also the reason why I will not try and improve the 125 right now, because that can happen at the end, and if you don't have 100% kills on this screen, you get to sit through the entire credit sequence just to be able to reload your save and do it again. So I'm good keeping that
But
there.
you did it. Yeah,
I
you
did it.
Well, Zelo, this was awesome. Thank you so much for showcasing some Doom 64. Why don't you tell everybody just a little bit about what you do on your show and what they can expect when they go follow you? Notice I said when they go follow you, because I think they should all go follow Zelo. You can go to the top of the stream right now in that title, because Twitch moved it from the bottom of the stream to the top of the stream. But
yes,
hover over his name and hit that big follow button.
Yeah, if you want to see more of these fluffy boys, if you want to see them more, and you want to watch me speedrun games like this, or Mega Man Network Transmission and other stuff, you should follow me at twitch.tv/Zelo. That's 3 L's, 3 O's. I also do a lot of rhythm game stuff, usually Pump It Up. So if you like music games and just want to chill, that's a good place to get it. Ellie, you have any shout-outs you want to do?
Shout outs to the entire Doom 64 community. There's a bunch of us, a lot of custom content. That's always fun. Shout outs to Night Dive Studio for this amazing remaster. Hey, shout outs to you for an amazing run.
Thank you. Yeah, if anything Doom 64 interests you, we have a dedicated Discord with a section for speedrunning. But if you are into any kind of custom content, the 64 scene, like the modding scene, is huge now. There's tons of stuff you can sink your teeth into. And like I said earlier in the run, this game is $5. It's really good. But I think that's going to do it for me. Thank you, Jiggy, for having me. And definitely stay tuned for Kovacs and Red Warriors runs coming up. You don't want to miss more Doom.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Zelo. All right, we'll be right back. When we come back, though, Doom Eternal, the brand newest game in the franchise. I know that there's another Doom coming out next year at some point. I think it's next year. But yes, we have Doom Eternal coming at you. 100% Nightmare with Kovac. Don't go anywhere. Secret Show Doom. We'll be right back.